All right, so I've got my setup complete. My file is named. I'm ready to start putting some letters onto my screen here. My word is going to be focus, 5 letters, Focus. It's the minimum that you have to have. You have to have at least 5 letters for your project. I'd recommend no more than 8. So I'm going to start first with the pen tool over here on the left side. Down here, about 2/3 of the way, is our pen tool. So click my pen tool, and it works a lot like the pen project that we did, the pen drawing task, the Bezier pen tool. Um, just slightly different. But if you were able to complete that pen tool task, you should be able to draw on Photoshop using the pen tool. Now, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to draw block letters. So I'm going to start with my F. I'm going to click and 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 come all the way back here. Now watch the pen tool here. You'll see that little circle appear. That means I'm going to close the path, right? I've completed my shape. If you do not see that little circle, when you get ready to finish your letter, move the pen nib around a little bit until that circle pops up. You must complete the shape, all right? So there it is, my completed F. Notice it's all in blue letters. Something to keep in mind, this path is not real, all right? A path is a plan. It's only a template that I can use later on. So it's important that I make a good plan. I can go in and I'll modify this some more. But for now, I just need to get it sort of blocked in so I've got something to start with. So when I talk about paths, you can look over here on your menus. Now your menu should be like this. It's you are as the first class starting with a fresh Photoshop install. You should have layers, channels, and paths. Layers are pixels, right? Those are pictures that are actually stacked together in Photoshop. Paths are the plan, right? So when I click paths, you can see right here, it's got a tiny little version of that F that I drew in this screen, and then the word work path, all right? Work path means like a work in progress. If you want to save it, double click on the word work path, and it will give you the option to save it. I'm just going to call mine capital F, right? So I know that that is the letter F when I look at my paths. Say okay, and there it is. Now it's saved, F over here. Like I say, paths are not real. They don't exist. They're only a plan, guidelines you can come back to later. I can turn this off by just clicking off the F here in my menu and see how the blue disappears. I can turn it back on by clicking it over here in the menu, and there it is. Okay, so turn it off, turn it on. It is only a plan. It does not really exist. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in my other letters. I want to get myself a block letter O, and it doesn't matter where I put these things. I'm looking for my little circle to pop up to close the shape. There it is. And I'm going to put an inside to my O because the O needs a hole. There it is. Boop. All right. And both of those shapes were drawn together on this work path. Come over here again, double click work path. I'm going to call it O. Say OK. All right. I'm going to do the same thing for my letter C. I'm going to come down here, make a letter C, block letter C. I don't have to be too careful with it because these are just sort of the starting point. I'm going to come in and I'll do a lot more customization later. All right, so there's my C. Double click, give it the name capital C. Say OK. Next path, need a U. Just a big block letter U. Close the path. Double click, call it U. Say OK. And now for my S, click my way around my S. There's an S. Double click so I can save it as S. Don't put all of your letters on the same path. Each letter needs to be a separate path. So we can go in and modify each letter independently. Make sure that you have each letter on its own path. If you want to be able to see them all together, hold the Shift key, click the top one, and there they are. Boop. All right, I can do that the other way. If I've got the top one selected, hold the Shift key, click the bottom one. All right, and it turns all your letters on for you. Okay, so just get your letters sort of blocked in there. There are paths. You don't have to worry about them being permanent drawings. We will come in and start modifying them in our next step. There you go.